Listed in the Domesday Book, Moseley Village has been home to legends, bands like Ocean Colour Scene and UB40, performed in local student pubs like the Fighting Cocks. Moseley was also home to J.R.R. Tolkien, author of Lord of the Rings and of The Hobbit. Known as Pete the Feet, Feet Mckenzie is an icon in Moseley, simply for just being himself.
When I first met Pete, I went into the Trafalgar with my daughter, and here's this character with the cowboy hat and no shoes, and he was just so affable and warm and friendly that you couldn't help but take to him. And I suppose it didn't ever occur to me that it was weird in any way. It was more refreshing.
You can spot him a mile. If he can be the other side of the street, you can always tell Pete the Feet. Just by his hat, you see the hat, and you know it's Pete the Feet. He's just a really interesting guy to get on with. He's really, really friendly.
He's well known. I've met so many characters in my life. Well, Pete the Feet's the #1 character. He's one of the best.
It's like going to Blackpool and getting a stick of rock or something, you know, when you come back. There's all these little shells and things, these little souvenirs. It's like coming to Moseley and getting a Pete the Feet lighter, Pete the Feet tobacco pouch, Pete the Feet belt.
I know I've given away well over 4,000 lighters, well over. But all over the world. People keep saying they've seen them in different countries. Because, you know, people come through Moseley. You get a lot of transients. And they give them a lighter, and they might go back to Canada, Turkey, France, Germany, wherever they come from, Australia. And they take the lighter with them. And then somebody else goes along and sees it and says, oh, I've got one of them. And it makes for a talking point if you're in a strange place. You see one, you go, ah, you've been to Moseley. You've met Pete, haven't you? Because you can't buy them. Because you can't buy them, you've got to meet me to get one virtually. Unless, of course, somebody gives you one that they've got, or pinches it, which is, I believe, has happened more than once. Because they're different. Disposable lighters with leather covers on makes them look a little bit classier than just a disposable lighter. I came to Moseley sometime in the 60s, mid to late 60s. I was working on telephone exchanges, but got to like the place, and I've been here ever since. And I wouldn't live anywhere. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. It's that cosmopolitan. And you've got everything. You name it, we've got it. That's why I like it. Because doesn't matter who you are or what you are. Everybody just sort of accepts everybody else. When I first arrived here, I went into the Bull's Head and I thought, this is it. It's a lovely village, lovely people. I've come home. I just felt like I'd come home. So I stayed. Being agoraphobic, it makes it a lot easier if I know people around here. So that's why I go up the pub on a regular basis at the same time every day. Because if I didn't go up at the same time, I wouldn't be able to go up at all. Yeah, I was ill once for a week and had to send somebody out to fetch me because I couldn't get out of the house. You know, just the flu. It put me down for a week, and after that was up, I couldn't go out. So I had to phone the pub and get somebody to come down, take me up the pub again. Yeah, get me started again. And because I've been agoraphobic, getting stuck inside all the time, that's why I started doing my lighters. I give up smoking. I don't just smoke. You do. If you give up smoking, you know the hardest thing you're going to ever do? Find out what you do with your hands. So I gave up smoking. I didn't know what the hell to do with these. So I just started making lighter covers. I started off just giving lighters away, which is amusing. And sometimes they start arguing over which ones they want because there's different patterns. The imitation snake skins, they go down well. That's one of my favourites. I only managed to get enough leather for 2 of them. The gold goes down well. I do like these black the shiny black ones, because that's got a wood pattern on it, and the more garish the pattern, the quicker they go. I had some yellow and black ones. That didn't last 5 minutes. In fact, that went that quick, I couldn't believe it. I thought this won't go because it is a little bit too garish. And it looked like checks for, you know, the chefs wear, only it was in yellow and black. I thought that'll never go in a million years. Yep, it did.
I have a gold lighter, Feet to Feet gold lighter. He gave me another lighter, but I lost it somewhere. But the other day he gave me a new lighter, a new gold lighter, with the little Feet to Feet mark on. So I'm really pleased with that one. And if anybody nicks it, I shall be really miffed.
Virtually, when I put them out, I can take a guess at which one's going to go first. And the only time I was a bit iffy was when it was a barmaid. I asked if she wanted one, and she said, yeah, she'll be back in a minute. So I've just put them on the counter, and I said to my missus, I know which one she's going to go for. I pointed it out, and she turned around and said, how do you know she's going to go for that? I said, it's just one of these things. After years of giving them away, you notice what people like. And it was a red one, bright red one. And I turned around, and you know, when she come back, she said, take your pick. And she started umming and ahhing. I said, what's she umming and ahhing for? And she did eventually pick a red one. I said to my missus, I knew you were going to go for a red one, but how come it took you so long? She said, well, there's two different ones. They were both red, but the colour on the top was different. I'd used a different coloured leather on the top, so she didn't know which top she wanted. She knew she wanted a red one, but she didn't know which top. So it was between the two red ones. These ones can take a lot longer to do. These can take up to a quarter of an hour to do, just to sew. Whereas the disposables, I can knock one of them up in 4 minutes. You actually sew it in 4 minutes. Somebody said, I want it to take it to do one. Well, I don't know it would take me to do one, because I never do one. I mean, I've up there, I've cut some blanks out this morning. And I've just sort of like, get the leathers and cut the blanks. Because I've got a template for cutting the blanks. And I've got 70 odd blanks. Now, I've just done them this morning. But they're not ready for sewing yet, you know. I mean, I've got to put the tops on them. And the top on here is actually it's there for a reason. It's not just decoration. It helps hold the lighter in. It makes it that little bit tighter at the top. And I'll put them on, which I'll do tomorrow on those 70. Then the day after, I'll just start sewing them, and they'll be done within a couple of days. At the rate I give them away, they'll be gone by the end of the week.
There's no other pieces down the piece of feet for starters. Gosh. My sister said the same thing about his feet. He doesn't wear no shoes.
What do you think about that?
It's just mad.
There's lots of ideas about that. People have told me why I've done it, which I found amusing. One of the ones I heard was, I took my shoes and socks off in the 60s as a protest against the Vietnamese war, and swore blind I wouldn't put them on until there was no more wars in the world. It's all a load of rubbish. What it really boils down to is I've got very sweaty feet, and I was working in a telephone exchange, and I used to change my socks twice a day, every day. I had to. I used to wear myself foot powder, but even then my socks would be sweaty every day. And I actually used to go through leather shoes in about 3 months. I had to, you know, get rid of my shoes and get another pair after 3 months, because I'd just rot them away. And then, as you know, in the 60s, anything went, and lots of people took their shoes and socks off. It was a very common thing to do. I did it. I found it extremely comfortable. I never put them back on again. In fact, these days, if I put shoes and socks on, I'm crippled. But if I clean my toenails before going out, and then perhaps it's a bit on the warm side, and I start to sweat through my feet as I always do, and then walk in a pub and it's got carpet down, the dust in the carpet gets underneath my toenails immediately, and it just looks unsightly. so I thought I'd put some nail varnish on and hide it. I mean, I still wash my feet twice a day, but it hides the dirt when I pick it up. So I've got quite a range of nail varnishes. I mean, I think I was 46, something like that, my daughter gave me half a dozen earrings and 2 bottles of nail varnish as a birthday present. So it's not often you get things like that as a father. All I do is, at the moment it's blue, so what I'll do when I change it is I just put my hand in the bag, and if I come up and it's not blue, as long as it's not blue, I'll use it. Mind you, I don't usually use blue in the winter because of the usual cracks. Oh, it must be cold, his feet have turned blue. The first time you hear it, it might be funny. When you hear it 10 times a day, it's not really funny. And you get people turning around saying, "Carl, smell those feet." Mine can't smell. Stale sweat smells. My feet evaporate. The sweat on my feet evaporates, so it can't smell. It's I think it's just healthier. My mate's a chiropodist, he says he's never seen such healthy feet. So it'll do for me.
Pete's the person that you walk into the pub, you can't help but notice him, for a start, the feet, yeah, the cowboy hat, you know, the whole persona, the whole person.
When I was a kid, very little, I always wanted a cowboy hat. I never wanted one of these pretend ones that you got for Christmas. That sort of thing. I always wanted a real one. And a friend of mine was going to the Calvary Stampede. And I said to her, when you're over there, I said, do us a favour, try and get me a real cowboy hat. I said, preferably a used one. I don't want a brand new one, just a used one. And she was a nice lass, quite friendly, got on with most people. And I thought, if anybody can con a cowboy out of a cowboy hat, she can. That was the start of it. That was just not the one. And because I always liked him, and I like the style, it's a very useful style, the Stetson. It keeps the wind off, keeps the rain off, keeps the heat out, keeps the heat in. The cap is French Foreign Legion. The brown one, I can't remember where that one come from. That's one of my favourites. This big blue one's a nice one, that's very warm. The black one was my first one. And I can't remember where this one came from now. I know this one came from a guy who went to the States. He bought it for himself and didn't have the bottle to wear it.
A lot of the younger ones, oh, that Pete the Feet, you know, they have to go and speak to him. I've heard about this guy, or there were little kids growing up and they'd heard about this Pete the Feet. I hadn't heard about him when I came to Moseley, but that was like 1976. I hadn't heard about him, you know. I came to Moseley, heard the name, met the person, immediately knew who he was. And I couldn't even tell you how we got talking to start with. It's one of those, but we always have spoken.
He does represent Moseley, which is, Moseley is bohemian. And he stands out as probably one of the most extraordinary characters in Moseley.
There was a funny one once when I went to see some friends in Anglesey last year, and the snow was on the ground, and I went in the pub I usually drink up to in there, and I was having a pint, and a couple of guys came in and said, "Haha, I knew you were around." I said, "Why?" He said, "I was walking down the street and I noticed these bare footprints in the snow." He said, "I knew you were back in the village."
Many people know I'm all over the place, and people come from different areas just to come to Moseley. Said, "Have you seen Pete the Feet?" I said, "If you're up in Moseley, you see him anywhere in Moseley."
When there's a crowd we used to drink together, same shaped glass, drinking the same beer. And what we did, we, you know, moving around as you do, good friends moving, changing seats. Which pint's this? Whose is this? Which is mine? Is this yours? Keep getting mixed up. I just happened to have an elastic band with me, so I put it round, and I've done it ever since. Mine's the one with the elastic band. Now when I come in the pub, the bar staff know, all the regular bar staff know that if they see me empty glass with an elastic band on, they know I want another pint. If I take the elastic band off, it means I'm going home. So they can tell what time I'm going home. As soon as they see me take the band off, I'm off.
Lighters I've probably got a mantelpiece covered in them, because every time I come in, I have a lighter with me, and there's a lighter. I go home with it, come out again. Mantelpiece covered in Pete the Feet lighters. He even does them for Zippos. See? He makes anything out of leather, basically.
One guy said he's got them all over his mantelpiece, all over his television or somewhere, all over his mantelpiece. He's got them. And I told him, that's not the idea. I don't give them away so you can make a blooming collection of them. So the idea is that you have one and you use it. And then when it runs out, you come for another one.
Things like his lighters and belts and his leather goods that he does, you know, is just a part of what he would do anyway. It isn't like he's doing this as a business and whatever. He would just do it anyway. I had a pair of leather trousers once that had split a few times, and gave them to Feet to alter the belt loops and things, you know, instead of, you know, all leather work up and that. But he'll do that for you. Just do it anyway. It isn't like you come and see him and I'll do repairs and it costs you this much. I'll do you a lighter and it costs you that much. It's just like, here you go.
Some people just can't accept it's something for nothing. Yeah. One woman over by Malvern insisted that I was after something. You know, I wasn't. But she said, oh, you'll be after something. And they start preaching about bloody religion next or something. I said, no, I've come in, I want a couple of pints. I give away my lighters, and then I'm gone. And it was a nice little pub. But I only had the 1 pint, and then left, just to prove her wrong. I wasn't after anything, because I might have got talking to somebody, and if they'd have bought me a pint, she'd have said, see, I knew he was after something. She'd have thought she'd have won. So I thought, no, if I just walk out the pub now, there's no way she can do that. She'll have to learn that some people can give things away for nothing.
You know, you speak to most people, if they've got a leather pouch, he's got Pete the Feet, little emblem on, you can always tell, because he's got like a stamp of his feet. So everybody's got those lighters. If you've got a single lighter itself, if you've got them there, if you notice this hasn't got a case on, it just nick the lighter, they come back and give you one of these.
I always personalise the ones that I do. I put my personal stamp on them, which is a little pair of feet. I get people ask me to do individual ones, and I do. You know, they want a name on it or a picture, whatever, and I do that. I do a lot with initials on.
This is one of Pete's lighters, one of the many that he's given me, or rather his lighter cases. But the lighter comes with it as well, by the way. Unless you walk on his toe, and then you get just the empty case.
Occasionally, I've been in places where they turn around and say, sorry, I can't serve you, haven't got shoes on. I was told once that I might bring in dirt. Now, I don't know about you, but if I stand in dog muck, I know it. If you stand in dog muck with shoes on, you don't know it. So you can go trampling all over the carpet. Me, first thing I do if I stand in dog muck is find the nearest tap and wash it off. Although I don't do that very often.
All of us that know Pete know that he will not go out of Moseley, right? He lives in Trafalgar Road and he'll pop into the pubs around Moseley and chat with people. And the lovely thing about him is that he never ever, he doesn't condemn anyone whatsoever. And he will talk about any issue, any topic, any subject. Right? He never gossips about people. You never hear him say anything awful. If he doesn't like somebody, he votes with his feet. He just avoids their company.
With being agoraphobic, I wasn't aware of it. So I just used to run away all the time. But you can't run away from it. So if I was in a place and I didn't feel comfortable, I thought it was something to do with the place. I didn't think it was me. So I just packed my bags and run. And people would say, where are you going? I'm like, the foggiest idea. I haven't got there yet. The number of times I've gone back to wherever I was staying, packed my suitcase, down the station, one-way ticket please, on the next train, where to, wherever he's going, to the end of the line. I just pay for a one-way ticket to the end of the line. And if I saw a town or anywhere, as I was coming into it on the train, and it looked like it might be all right, I just get off the train. And to this day, I don't know how many towns I've stayed in. Because I might only be there for a week before getting fed up with it or feeling uncomfortable. I still think Moseley's the best place there is. It's a separate little entity all on its own. It seems to be cut off from the rest of the world. The rest of the world doesn't exist. Somebody once turned around to me and said, it's only a suburb of Birmingham. I said, no, it's not. No, Birmingham's a suburb of Moseley. Moseley was here before Birmingham. Moseley goes back to the Domesday Book. Birmingham doesn't. So Moseley was here first, so Birmingham's just Moseley shopping centre. It's our out-of-town shopping centre.
Even just an old hippie who sort of hangs out around Moseley, walks around with bare feet and gives you a free lighter, you know. So you do get people who just seem as
They think I'm balmy. What the hell? Doesn't matter, does it? I don't care what people think. I'm comfortable. In fact, these days, if I put shoes and socks on, I'm crippled. I had an infected foot once, and because of it, I had to put shoes and socks on. And I put them on. I've never felt so uncomfortable in my life. Everywhere I went, I kept on shaking my feet, trying to throw them off because it felt wrong.
Is this going to catch on there?
No!
You've got a lot of different kind of diverse personalities in Moseley itself. You know, you've got your introverts, extroverts and all that, people who dress to impress. And then you've got Pete, who doesn't actually dress to impress, and so it's his own persona, his own character.
I'm not bad at washing up. I cook my own dinners. Oh, that's another thing I do a bit different than most people, I think. When I say I cook my own dinners, I have my dinner when I get out of bed. Like this morning, I had pork chop, new potatoes, peas, gravy, the whole business. That was about 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning. But it sets me up for the day. And after that, anything else, it's just a nibble, sandwich. Might have a sandwich. This evening I might have a couple of packets of crisps or something like that, a packet of crisps or a bowl of blooming cornflakes if necessary.
He made me a belt one time, a nice leather belt with my name on, Norman, whatever. Makes all sorts of fun.
I've done one or two funny ones. You know, people, I do belts as well. And people ask for some of the strangest things put on a belt. You know, not just the names, nicknames and all sorts of things that go on. I can't tell you half of them. There's one guy who's got golden bullets written on the back of his. Well, that's his nickname. Another one, John the Hat, I did a pile of drawings of hats on it, embossed hats, because that's his nickname, John the Hat. You know, they do daft things like that. And I've just been asked to make a gun belt, which I've never made before, so that'd be an interesting little experience. I hope it turns out well for him. But he doesn't want anything fancy, he just wants a holster and a plain belt. So that shouldn't be too difficult, because I've got a pattern for the holster. And when he said it, I said, what kind is it? He said, oh, any kind. And ever since then, I can't watch a cowboy film. Because if I see a cowboy film on the telly, that's it. I'm not watching no film. I'm looking at all the different gun belts, aren't I? Well, I look at the style on that one, and the style on that, and that's a different style, and that's a different style. So I've got a book on it, and there's God knows how many different bloody styles of holster for different guns. So I said to him, no, the only way I can do it for you is you let me have the gun, and I'll build a holster around it. Or I can show you the kind of holsters you want, I've got patterns of, and you can tell me which one you want. So I don't know which one he's going to do. I preferred him to give me the gun, because if I work round something, it's easier. And I've been known to put the needle through my finger, which is a bit silly. And I'm forever stabbing myself, either with that or the needle. I actually took the end of my finger off, just a sort of slither with the end of my finger. So I was holding the leather down, holding the rule down while I put the scalpel, and the end of my finger was just over the edge of the rule. And it sliced a little bit off, which was a bit awkward, because it means I can't do anything, because the blood's going to be on the leather, and I don't want blood on it. It spoils the look.
Pete, he's real. You know, that's one of his sayings as well. real people. You know, you've got to think about real people, what you call real people. And for Pete, and for myself, the real people are just the people as they are. The ones, maybe the ones that others don't see, the ones others don't want to see, or would rather not see.
Sometimes now I get stopped in the street. People I know, sometimes people I don't know. Hey, Pete, can I have one of your lighters? It doesn't bother me, because I've always got a pocket full. Twice, I think, I've gone out and come home without any. You know, I've actually got rid of 20 in the day. When I first started doing it, I used to do, what, 4 or 5 a day, if that. Might not even do 5 in a day. Now I can get up to 20 a day.
He's always been a cool character that you can talk to.
He is a unique individual.
Pete the Feet's the #1 character. He's one of the best.
Whenever he is around, there's a good atmosphere, a nice karma, if you like. He's just a very nice person.
Over the years, I'd say we've become very good friends.
Somebody said what I ought to do is get in touch on these sex shops and do these funny masks and the like. It's not quite the same as making a lighter colour and making somebody smile. That's the nicest bit. If I give it to somebody and they just smile, they're happy. It's made somebody happy. I think to myself, 4 pence, 5 pence, whatever it costs, 10 pence, whatever it costs, it puts a smile on somebody's face. Yeah, I think that's magic.